in our soft power offer, if you like. I also think we should look at where the opportunities are over the next few years. I mean, everyone has been talking about the BBC. Normally when the BBC talks about soft power, it wants some more money for particular stations or particular programming. But we ought to be thinking about this in a much broader way, about English language teaching. We have a huge shortage across the world. I think last count was about 60 million teachers short of reaching the global goal 4. What other things can we do with what we've got that are going to make a difference to those things?
Can I just ask, because you raised the BBC, what happens when there's basically a clash or a fight between some of the institutions which represent British soft power and the government, which is supposed to be building upon them? Because we've had that in the past with universities, we've had that in the past now with many stages with the BBC, but there's clearly, there's a view that the BBC is sort of one of the crown jewels of the British brand, if we want to call it that, or the UK's soft power. At the same time, there's a lot of disagreement about the BBC's future, its role, how it's funded, its public service mission, its neutrality, how it's governed. So how does the government sort of succeed in building on Britain's soft power if it's coming into conflict with some of the elements of it?
Well, I think there's two things. There's first of all, what do you want the BBC to do? And that's quite often that conversation immediately runs to editorial decisions on the 6 o'clock news. That's obviously not where we should be at all. But we should, I think, have a view, if there is going to be some element of public funding, and I think there will be for a long time in the future, we should have a view and clearly state what we need the organisation to do. And that's not just about archiving music. It is about soft power. It's about promoting English. It's a whole raft of things. Back home, I would also suggest it's about the Union of the United Kingdom. I would be bringing back the UK theme on Radio 4. That was debated before I got into Parliament, but I think that those are the sorts of things that are celebrating and strengthening our culture. And the regions and nations of the UK. I think those are the sorts of things that we should be having a clear view about as government, but it's also, we're reflecting the people's views. But I also think the other stumbling block to this, and why it's so difficult, and no one has really kind of been able to grip it, is that we know the funding model has to change. But it's a chicken and egg situation. If you allow the BBC to forge ahead with the commercial opportunities that it's got, it then gets restricted because it falls foul of competition issues. So you have to find a way of sequencing this. One of the great British characteristics is that we want change, we want progress, and we're ambitious. But we just take it at a steady pace. And I think we don't want a situation where we're turning off public funding for an organisation that hasn't got a glide path to ramping up its commercial activities. It's that detail that needs to be worked out and hasn't been today.
Okay.